Hi, diary followers, readers, watchers. It's Renee with another diary entry. Today is Tuesday, October 14th, and it's a cloudy, drizzly day here in South Jersey. We had that nor'easter that was coming up from the south over the weekend. Really, Saturday was cloudy. And I think it did start raining Saturday night. And then Sunday was a blah day as well. And yesterday for Columbus Day or Indigenous Day, whatever they call it now, I don't even know. It was cloudy and rainy as well. And today is the same. Hopefully it will start to clear up and that storm is moving out. And I was off yesterday from the bus run because of the national holiday, and schools were closed. And as you can see, I'm sitting waiting for my pre-K bus to pull up in about 15-20 minutes to go get the little kitties. Anywho, so since the last time I had my the vlog, I think it was the unboxing I did. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. And I'm probably going to order another one, and I'll do it on here if you liked it. And if you didn't like it, let me know. I did have a comment saying that I need to focus more on opening the package and showing it more than 30 seconds. So I noted that, and I will try to do it a little bit better next time. So if you liked it, stick around. I will probably order one later today. And it takes a couple weeks to get it, so the next time I get it, or when I get it, I will be sure to record it. Anyway, so the last time I talked to you, a lot has happened. If you can tell by the title of the vlog, it has a lot to do with my parents, my mother and my stepfather, and I'll get into that momentarily. But one thing that was good last week that I did is there's a little girl on my pre-K bus, and her great aunt is, taking over custody for her due to some family issues. And she's 4 years old. She's so cute. She's not verbal as like talking like as a child that should be talking. She sings a lot. She is very animated when she sings, and she's a very good girl. She really keeps to herself and occupies herself very well. And her great aunt asked me to go on a pumpkin picking trip with the school to be her chaperone, and I'm like, absolutely, let me check my schedule. So that is coming up next week, I believe. I think it's next week. So I wanted to get to know her, the little girl, better, and I wanted her to see me in her element, which would be at her home. So last Thursday I went over there and spent like 3-4 hours over there with her and her great aunt, and she opened up to me. She like wanted to sit on my lap. She grabbed my hand, walked me around her backyard. I was reading books to her. So it was good because I want her to feel comfortable with me, even though we'll be on a school trip and she knows the teachers and she knows all the kids there. She'll be like, well, what are you doing with me? I'm just on the bus every day. So I am going to go on that trip with her, and I will hopefully try to get over there this week again, depending on my mom and my stepdad's situation. And I'm going to get into that later on in this video because I just saw my pre-K bus pull into where he's dropping off his first run, and then he'll be swinging by to get me. So I don't want to start it and then have to stop and then I'll pick up. So that's what I did on Thursday. I went over there after my bus run and we hung out for a few hours and got to know her. So I'm hoping to do it again this week, depending on my schedule. I'm trying to think what else. I was supposed to go, this is all leading up into my parents' story. So my ex-husband's sister, my sister-in-law, I'm still friendly and in touch with her and helping her pack up her house because she's going to be moving south, hopefully by the end of the year. And her one son, she has two sons, my two nephews. The one son is down in Georgia, and that's where she's moving. He came up with his new baby, his first child, and his two stepsons and his wife. And they came up late last week to help out with the move and the packing and all that. And then also to bring his new baby up here so other family members could see her. And we were supposed to, me and my ex-husband, if you're not familiar with that whole situation and you're new to my channel, I am divorced as of January. And my husband and I would be married 35 years on October 19th. And now he's living with me after a year of separation in two different apartments in the same complex. If you want to like catch up on all that, watch all my videos. I do go over that in detail back through the last year. And that's the reason I started this diary of a mad woman, because obviously, who lives with their ex-husband? First of all, that was not the plan back when I made the channel. Not at all. It just evolved that it's for the best right now for finances. And if you watch my videos, I will explain why. And hopefully it's a subject that interests you and you'll consider subscribing if you're new. And thank you to all my original subscribers and my friends out there in YouTube land for sticking with me. Anyway, let me get back on my track here. So my sister-in-law's son came up with his family late last week, and we were supposed to, me and my ex-husband, were supposed to go down to my other nephew's house on Sunday. I'm like, because this has been a whirlwind weekend. Sunday for a late or an early dinner to meet, you know, the baby and all that. But then I had to change my plans because my mother got out of rehab on Saturday. I was supposed to pick her up on Saturday because I'll tell you the whole issue why she was coming back here to Mount Laurel. Okay, so now you know I'm in southern New Jersey, right outside Philadelphia. She has a house down in Cape May Courthouse, down the shore. It's about an hour and 45 minutes away. And she has a house up here in southern New Jersey near me. So I was supposed to pick her up on Saturday. Well, Saturday, I was working at the antique booth place that I have my antique booth in. It's like an antique mall. So I left at 10 in the morning, and it's open 11 to 5. So I got done at 5 o'clock. Well, during the working time, my mom's calling me and saying, you need to come get me now. My stepfather is going off the rails. He has a traumatic brain injury from a job like 30 years ago. I'll explain that in the next upcoming clip, and then I'll tell you the whole weekend drama that I had. And he has fits of rage, and he has, I think, dementia on top of it. Like, he's in and out of, like, she calls him Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So you don't know what personality you're going to get at that point. So she was calling me, leaving me a voicemail on Saturday while I was working, and I hear him screaming in the background, like, get out, blah, 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 blah. And she's crying on the phone. So I call her on Saturday while I'm working, and I'm like, I'm working right now. I get done at 5. It's about a half an hour away from my house, so I have to go home first. I want to go home first, and then I will I have to like come home anyway, because it's like southern from where I was at, so it's south, so it's still going like towards her area, like really. So I go home, and the other issue is I went home for a reason, because she wants to bring her dog home. She just had needs replacement surgery on September 5th. She can't even walk well. She's on full oxygen with a cane, and she's going to be walking this greyhound dog to go outside. Down the shore, they have a fenced-in yard. my stepfather could let the dog in and out. I tried to convince her, leave the dog there. No, 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 he's not taking care of her. She's not going out. I don't know if he's feeding her. I'm like, okay. So I went home to get dog blankets to put in the back of my SUV because this dog will pee back there. It slobbers and it's a mess. It was like, I just want to trade my car in now because all I do is smell like dog, and I'm getting it detailed as soon as I have a free moment. But that's besides the point. So I go home, I get the blankets, I grab a donut. I eat, thank God I had like a bag of popcorn in my car that I took for a snack for the thing, because that's basically what I was snacking on, because I didn't have anything to eat since breakfast before, like, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning I had breakfast. Now I'm on the road a little bit after 6 o'clock to drive down to the shore to go get her and her dog. So I get down there, he went out, my stepfather went out, so he wasn't there when I got her. So I had to load up my car with the dog, all the crap she wanted to bring home. Her oxygen machine, she had a portable oxygen machine, and then she has one for the house. 4 or 5 bags, a suitcase, like she packed up whatever she needed to take with her to come home. So I had to load everything up while she sat there, which is fine because she can't move. And it's dark at this point, and it's rainy, and her trailer is full of shit. She's a hoarder. So there's that story. And I'll get into that more in the next segment based on when I get her back up to the house. Up here in South Jersey. And so I load up the car. He's still not home, which is good. So we just load up. So it was like not 2 minutes, but it was quick. I was like probably 15, 20 minutes and we were out of there. So I drive her back up to her home here. That's about 15 minutes away from where I live. I get her unloaded. I get the dog unloaded. I take the dog out. I get her situated and I go home. And I didn't get home until after 10 o'clock Saturday night. So, and then Sunday I was supposed to go to the sister-in-law, my nephew's, but we didn't go because I was so tired, and that drive to my nephew's is in the same direction, South Jersey, in Vineland, which is another hour away. It's an hour away. So it's like, I'm not making that trip twice. Okay. And plus the nor'easter with the wind and the rain and whatever, I didn't want to drive into it. You know, and Sunday was supposed to be the worst of it, in the afternoon and evening. And I'm like, I don't feel like going. I can't, I'm too tired. And now I got to like go grocery shopping for her on Sunday. So that's what I did. On Sunday, I went grocery shopping, got her food, got us food because we were out of food. Checked on her Sunday, and that was my quiet Sunday. And then come yesterday, I will get into that later in the next segment because I'm going to hang up. I'm going to stop my camera because the bus is going to be coming. So I will pick up this story. I will be back shortly. So hold that thought. I am back. I've been trying to record this second half of this video ever since I got off the bus the first time. But I kept getting interrupted with phone calls and then the bus run and all that. So I'm picking up where I left off. As you can see, I'm home. I'm in my bedroom. And so Sunday, so I'm picking up Sunday. I stayed home, didn't go to my nephew's get together with my ex-husband. I went grocery shopping for us and my mother to get her some food and checked on her Sunday. It's Tuesday. So time is now running together with everything that I'm trying to handle. So now we go into tomorrow. I was off because of the holiday, Columbus Day, and my plan was to go to my booth. It was vendor night last night, and I was going to, load up my booth with some product. So I spent yesterday a few hours up till early afternoon. I was pricing items and wrapping them and getting them ready in the container to bring up, because I was going to go there late in the afternoon, because they would be open till 8, so I can like load stuff up after the customers were gone and the store was closed. So my mother gives me a call while I'm doing this, and she's telling me she thinks she needs to go to urgent care, and that she would want to go tomorrow, which means today, Tuesday the 14th. And I'm like, well, if you think you need to go to urgent care, why are we waiting till tomorrow? Her leg and her foot on the leg that she had her knee replacement surgery on, is very swollen. And she's been having trouble with that foot, I guess, since December, January. She thinks she tore ligaments or something is wrong other than the swelling that could be resulted from her knee operation. And you're gonna hear one of the dogs scratch at my bedroom door right now, and I'm gonna like yell. So I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, well, why are we gonna wait till tomorrow? Let me take you now. And I'm not taking you to urgent care. I'm gonna take you to the ER, because obviously you feel something is wrong, and you just had surgery a month ago on this leg. Is it from that? Is there a coincidence, or is it a byproduct of the surgery she had? So if I take her to urgent care, they might send her to the hospital anyway. So I'm like, I'm just going right to the hospital. We're going right to the ER. So I get my stuff put away, and I go to her house to go get her. Get her into the car, and we go to the ER close to her house. 3-hour wait in the ER for her to be seen. They take her from the ER to go get an ultrasound of her leg. It comes back clear. There's no blood clots. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe I should have pressed more. She's insistent that there's something wrong with her foot. She thinks she might have an infection. I'm like, if you had an infection, most likely you would have a fever. You don't have a fever. The coloring on her leg looks okay for it being swollen. It's a little like red at the bottom, but I think that's from, trying to walk on it. Because she's got to walk from the house to the car. I got her a wheelchair from the car to the ER waiting room and all that. But her leg doesn't look normal, and the right leg also is swelled up, but not to the extreme of her left leg where the surgery was done. So 3-4 hours later, they're not keeping her in the hospital because they say there's nothing that she can do except wear compression socks. So I brought her home from the hospital to her home last night. Let me backtrack. So when I was realizing that I was taking her to the ER, and I was concerned that what happens if they keep her? Now she's got her dog home with her, and there's going to be nobody to take care of it. I am not sleeping over there. I have 2 dogs of my own. The house is a hoarder house, okay? You cannot walk through the rooms easily. It's not clean. It's not sanitary. It's so bad when your own daughter, me, you don't even want to use their bathroom. I will hold my pee and wait to get home to use the bathroom. I do not even want to use their bathroom. That's sad. That's sad. It breaks my heart that I feel that way. It breaks my heart that they're living that way and they don't think anything's wrong with it. So before I took her to the ER, I called my stepfather up. He is still down the shore. We have the dog because we brought the dog back with her, or I did, Saturday night. Now I'm thinking, okay, if she's in the hospital, who's going to take care of this dog? I call him. He's not a raving lunatic on the phone. He sounds normal, and I'll get more into that in a minute or two. I tell him I have to take her to the ER. I don't know if they're keeping her. That I'm asking if he can come up here and get the dog and take the dog back down there, or stay up here with the dog while we don't know what's going on with her. And he was fine. He actually came home last night, or late afternoon. He was home. So he was home when we got home from the ER. Okay, and he was in the right frame of mind at that point. He doesn't look like himself because he usually has his hair shaved very, very low, and he has a clean face. His hair is all crazy looking. Now he's got a full beard and it's not maintained. And my mom has told me that he's wearing the same clothes that he went down over a month ago in, and he has not changed his clothes, or he's doing it very sporadically. He's not showering or taking care of himself like he used to. So that's a whole nother situation now I have to deal with. I got my mother, who's basically an invalid, on full oxygen 24/7. She can't be mobile like quickly on her feet. She's using a cane. She's not steady on her feet. I have to pick her leg up to get her in and out of the vehicle because she doesn't have the full range of motion, and her leg is very heavy from being swollen. Then I have my stepfather that is not right. We call him, my mom calls him Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, because his attitude and his demeanor will change on a dime. Hence why I had to go get her Saturday night, because he was going off the deep end on her. So I talked to him last night when I brought her back from the ER. He sounded normal. I said, look, you gotta help her with the dog, take the dog out. She's got to keep her leg elevated because it's really swollen, and if it's not going to go down in a day or two, I'm going to have to take her to a different hospital or figure out what's going on, because I'm thinking it should be going down and not getting worse. It's been over a month now of the surgery. And is this a different underlying issue that she's had with her foot? And now it's just exasperated with the surgery. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Anyway, so I get home last night. All is calm, quiet. My stepfather is in a decent mindset. She's going to bed. She's sleeping downstairs in a recliner because she can't walk up the steps. He's sleeping up the steps, upstairs in the bedroom. Great. Today I call her in the morning. I woke her up. Unfortunately, it was like 8:30, and I woke her up. So she's tired because, she just got out of rehab, and I'm sure she hasn't been sleeping that well and all that. So I said, I'll call you later after my bus run, and I'm probably going to come over and visit today, this day that I'm recording. After all that, after the bus runs that I have done at 4 o'clock. So I did my bus runs and I come home. I'm here now. So about 15-20 minutes ago, before I started this video, I get a phone call from my mom. She says I called the police on him. And I'm like, okay, he's ranting and raving again. He's going to throw shit down the steps. I need to cook him breakfast or what else. That she's telling me everything. I'm like, okay. I said, the police are there? Yes. I'm like, okay, good. And her neighbor is over there as well to sit with her. And if he's not leaving, my mom is going to go over to the neighbor's house to sit with her until he leaves. So apparently the police talked him into leaving some point today to go back down to the shore and to take the dog with him. The dog needs to be there because I cannot have my mom walking this dog. Okay, she's not even up on her feet. And God forbid if she has to go into the hospital, who's going to take care of this dog? At least my stepfather loves animals. I know that dog is being fed. They have a fenced-in yard. I'm sure he's letting her out at some point. But yes, the dog is probably relieving herself in their trailer. You know, I don't know what to do. If I bring up the dog needs to be rehomed, then I'm going to hear it. And I know they can't take care of this dog 100% right now, but I don't know what I'm doing. Or I don't know what to do. My hands are tied because I don't want to have them pissed off at me. I know the dog looks healthy. I took the dog out last night before I left. And also before I left on Saturday night when I dropped her off. You know, the dog has food and water out. I know the dog is being fed and cared for to the best of their ability at this point. But he needs to take the dog because I don't know what's going to happen with my mom if she has to go into the hospital again. So, and then I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous clip, but Saturday, when I went down to get her, a neighbor called the police on him because they heard noise, him screaming at her, you know, and someone heard it, called the police. They filled out a report about a domestic violence issue at their trailer. So that's on record down there. And now today they have it on record up here where her main residence is. He agreed to the police that he would go back down to the shore with the dog later today once he took a nap. He sleeps a lot. He's 85. He has his days and nights mixed up. He's had that issue for years now. I know he's not taking his medicine on a regular basis, if at all. That can help him. I believe with his brain injury that he received from his job 30 years ago, that was the end of his career. He drove a tractor trailer for a large grocery store chain up here, and that was the end of his career. He was he's straight on disability due to that head injury. He was at an unloading dock or a loading dock, and a employee was not watching what they were doing, and there was a dolly that you load stuff on and you're rolling it down the way or whatever to get it into the store or the stock room or whatever. The dolly hit him in the head and took a big chunk, and I'll never forget the night. It was in January. It was January of 96, I believe. Or 97, because my daughter was an infant, and it was one of the coldest winters that we had. And I'll never forget it. He came to our house. Someone drove him home and he should have stayed in the hospital, but he signed himself out. He had so many stitches, probably 100 and some stitches in the head, and it was all bloodied, and he had a big wrap around his head, and he hasn't really been right since. He'll stop and have a seizure standing up, he'll zone out, and you can't get him to do anything. He's immobilized but shaking. That happened many times. I've seen that happen with him throughout the last 30 years, and that was from that injury. So I'm assuming that his Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde issue is due to that. He was an alcoholic prior to all that. After that incident, he was not drinking anymore. Now he's on a kick that he likes to go to the VFW and drink, which I don't want him behind a wheel of a car. And now that he's 85, I'm sure your mind is going depleting brain cells on its own anyway. So I believe it's a combination of everything that is compounded in him to where he has this issue. So he is very, I don't want to say he's violent, but he's very headstrong. He will throw stuff now. He's capable of hurting someone, my mother, or himself, or doing crazy things because he's just not himself anymore. And you never know when his personality is going to switch. Like yesterday, he was fine. And now today, the police were called again. So there's that. One good thing that's coming up, now see if he goes back down there, I got to try to get him back up here because next Monday, he has a doctor's appointment with his primary doctor. And I actually want to go, I'm going to that appointment. They both have the same doctor, and they're seeing the doctor the same day, like 20 minutes apart or whatever. So I'm going regardless if he's up here or not, because I do want to, I know the HIPAA law and all that, but I need to bring it to their attention to where this is an issue, and I need to know, how do I go about getting a medically, like a power of attorney, or what resources do I have that I can use to get him help, to make sure he is safe and other people are safe. Because at this point, I don't know what to do, and I don't feel comfortable with him just being out there. I'm afraid he's going to forget how to get home or go back to the trailer. Like I feel like I'm going to hear a silver alert. If you're familiar with that, it's where like older people get lost and they put out an alert looking for these people, that the older people that may be getting their car, or they have dementia or whatever, and they like leave their place of residence and nobody's seen them. Just like an Amber Alert for a child, this would be for an adult person that's in need of finding, So like, I'm just afraid for everything with this. So that's what's been going on. That was my week. Oh, and I forgot to say, last week, my husband, ex-husband, he called me on a bus run, and he's like, oh, I got my results for my scan, because he, his cancer, the scan's clear, but they found a blood clot in his lung. So they recommended him go to the ER. So I did that on, I don't even know what day last week. So yeah, it's been a fun week, for sure. And you guys with your comments, and I appreciate you watching my videos. It keeps me sane. I can talk, because I really have nobody to talk to about what I'm going through, and I'm an only child, okay, of my mom and my biological father. My stepfather has 4 sons. 1 is deceased, and the other 3 have not spoken with him since 2001, 25 years ago. They have not spoken to them, or my stepfather has not spoken to them. They have not spoken to him. I tried to bridge a gap between them because my stepfather, a few years ago, when he was like more normal, wanted to reach out to his eldest son and try to make amends. And I said, well, you can't just show up on his doorstep, because he was asking me where he lived. And I'm like, I know, but I'm not going to tell you. So I reached out to my stepbrother, and via Facebook Messenger, and I said, your father would like to meet with you and talk to you and try to make amends. And basically the son, my stepbrother, said, I don't want him contacting me or anyone in our family ever again, and we're just going to leave it at that. So basically I'm on my own with their father, trying to figure out his issue, my stepfather, which I've known since 1977, 78. And I feel as he is my father, because he basically raised me from the age 9, 10, all the way up till now I'm 58. I'll be 59. And my mother. And I'm the only child from her and my father. So I have a lot on my plate. And being an only child definitely sucks at this point, because I am trying to navigate this on my own with nobody to bounce off on, nobody to help me assist with cleaning up their hoarder house up here and their hoarder trailer down there. The trailer smells like dog pee and dog crap. There's shit all over the place. I'm talking tchotchke crap. She buys stuff. They have no money. Like, they would have so much money in the bank if they weren't buying crap. And it's her really now at this point, because he doesn't know whether he's coming or going, you know? And a couple weeks ago, one of the neighbors down at the shore, that we were trying to get in touch with him, because my mom was in rehab, and the neighbor was trying to find his phone. Well, the phone was in his car, and then she found out that he went grocery shopping and he left all the food in the car and it rotted. Milk, lunch meat, bread. It was sitting in the car and he had no idea that he bought it and then he left it there. So something is brewing to where I need to make decisions very quickly. So the first step is with this doctor of his primary, and then I need to find the will, because I believe I want to see if the lawyer that did the will, I want to make sure it's updated first. And I want to make sure, I want to see if that lawyer's still in practice, if they can do a medical and financial POA, so I can make sure I can take care of their bills. Like he can't pay bills. He don't know which way is up. And I paid her bills when she was in rehab. And I want to make sure that things are being handled for them correctly. So that's like the next thing. But I can't get to the will because it's in a safe in their den that's blocked off with a bunch of shit that I have to move in order to get to it. Maybe I'll take a picture of this room so you can see what I'm talking about. Just one room, but the whole townhouse, 2 floors, is exactly filled to the rim with crap. All right, that's my video today. It's a bit long. That's what's been going on. And I want to thank you again for watching my videos, subscribing. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, liking it, giving it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I also put on the community page, I put a note or a post that I'm going to do a question and answer video possibly, if I have enough questions. If you're interested, you can ask me anything. I don't know if I'll answer it, but I'm an open book. I'm going to, most likely I will tell you the answer, unless it's really, really private and it has to do with other people. I'm not going to give out their information. But yes, so read that post. If you're interested, write a comment on that post of your questions. And then that will be an upcoming video in the next week or 2 or so. But other than that, that's all I got. So please pray for me or send me good vibes. Send me something to make sure that I don't really go like a mad woman, because it's going to ramp up very quickly for me with these 2 parents that I have to try to take care of, and doing it really by myself. Yes, I have my ex-husband, but he's maintaining the dogs here and trying to keep me sane. He's been very, very good, and he feels bad, and which is good, because then I don't really have to worry that he's going to go off the rails for me, because I can't deal with that again, because I have too much other crap going on. I can only handle one person off the rails at a time, and I have 2 already in line, mom and dad, stepdad. I don't need another one. And don't forget, I have my sperm donor father down in Florida that had a stroke a few years ago, and he blew through his $500,000 at his retirement account. Watch that video, because that's in there too. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you look for it. Anyway, it's Renee signing off for good today, and I will be back soon with another video diary entry. Take care for now. Bye.